Hello everybody, this is LEGO Creationist with a new installment to the LEGO Prototype series. In this video, we'll be talking a majority about the number 8 engine on Sodor. This is Duck the Great Western engine, or more commonly known as the 5700 class from the Great Western Railway, built between the 30s and the 40s. So, Duck came about the Sodor after Percy needed help in the yard, and once Percy transferred to help build up the key side, then Duck became the main station pilot for the bigger engines. Let's talk about his model now. Duck's model is 22 studs long, so he's the longest tank engine / small engine on my railway currently, as Toby is only 19 while Thomas is 18, so that's long. But in terms of height, he's both the longest and shortest. Including his funnel, he's as tall as Toby, but talking just about his cab, then he's one whole brick shorter than Gordon. Or maybe one and 1/3 shorter than Gordon. And so let's talk more about other details. You can see that he's in prototypes for a reason. His cab, boiler, or safety valve, dome, and wheels, as well as splashers, are all different colors rather than green and black. His splashers and this thing, I don't know what this is, it's just a really big splasher, should be black, so should his wheels. But his boiler should obviously be green. The reason being is that this is all from pieces I have at home, so that's why. You might be asking, when did I build this? And that was literally 3 days ago. I built Duck entirely 3 days ago, when I was talking to another LEGO builder called Mr. Shanman on Twitter, but if you want to check out his YouTube stuff, then he's called The Old Iron Productions. He makes some good LEGO stuff, but he only posts on Twitter. I'm not sure why, he doesn't post any on YouTube, but anyways, he makes some good LEGO stuff, and so we were talking about his model, and so he asked me how to improve them, and so I was looking over at his Duck model. I noticed the front handrail right here didn't look right. That's because he was using a 1x2 tile, like one of these. You can see the seam between them. He's using one of these as this, and so the problem was that he was using this kind of design, where he had this plate right here, and this on either side, so he couldn't put anything like this in between. So what I did is I had the idea of removing this thing right here, just getting one of these kinds of pieces without the hinge, and so putting that on with one of those, I don't know what they're called, these things, and then what you would do is that you would have 2 plates and then a tile on top, and so you would be able to make it fit. And so that was the main idea, and I'm glad it worked, because now it looks a lot better in terms of the detail. The problem was that we now had an issue about the boiler because he wanted to have that little edge in between. And so I managed to do that, and a bit more, by accident mostly. You can see by Duck that he has the cylinders right here. Hard to notice, but they are there. Or you can see from the sides more easily. And you can also see from this angle that he has holes underneath his splashers, like Thomas, so his flanges can sit inside his body rather than protrude below them. And you can see in the front view of him that he has a pin in the other window, and that's because during my reference pictures I noticed that he had this curve, and so with this you can see that there is a curve. The problem is that with it you can't see through the window, and it looks quite ugly. So I think I'm gonna have to sacrifice that detail just so it looks better. You can see also that I put these jumper tiles on side here, but that's not the right plate, as it should be a 1x2 tile, then a 1x2 jumper plate. So that's how it actually looks, and it would also be easier to fit lamps on, too. And so, that's around it. Duck probably won't be completed for another year, maybe, just because he's not one of the big ones I'm planning to do. What I can say I'm planning to do is, for this Christmas, I'll be changing all of Gordon's wheels to blue. I'm already getting my godmother to order them for my Christmas present. And so, in the coming month, or less than a month, you'll see Gordon's wheels as bright blue, like his paintwork. His boiler, right here, his firebox, and his tender won't be finished, but at least his wheels will look nice. And so the only main thing that I have to fix is his red dome and his tender. And yeah, that's about it. So, bye everyone. LEGO Creationist, out.